pocket. Business card's in my pocket. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm just telling you to hand them out because you're the one that does all that shit. Yeah. Yeah. There you guys. Right on in.
Come on, go. How's it going?
Well, Hayner, how are we up today?
How you doing, sir?
Chad, I'm with Crack's Call Podcast.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Hey, guys, welcome. I had to look you up.
Yeah, that runs directly to our YouTube and everything on the QR code on that.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I looked at it. I saw you a lot of reviews, a lot of different video reviews of all different stuff. Maybe you get your bourbon, you get a Hayner in front of you.
Yeah. We like Hayner.
Yeah,
I actually bought a bottle of the Barrel Rye last time I was here, and that's just like on the show. So
Yeah, I was gonna say they've got a honey rye.
I'm buying a bottle.
I saw that down. Ooh, maple rye.
That's what I'm getting.
I figured you were getting the maple rye.
So
I figured you were gonna go for the
that's the surprise bottle.
And we do have some honey. Actually, they're not labeled yet, but we just did honey bourbon.
Ooh.
Which is very slight but very good. So it's barrel proof, so it's 116 proof, but it's got a really sweet finish. So I think the honey came out more forward in the rye than did the bourbon. Don't know why, it's just what it did.
honey is very, very
So and the maple,
He makes mead, so it's
maple bourbon still in the barrel, and this maple rye, it's maple forward. You can taste the maple, and you know you're drinking maple.
yes.
And I love that. And not everybody likes that sweetness, but I love it.
well, and I had already seen that they have the maple rye. It's like
That's why I'm getting it.
myself personally, I love back flavoring on it. So like when you get those real pronounced notes, and then you have the barrel with it, it's like
Now,
So I think honey bourbon turned out honey bourbon turned out really good.
I showed Tony this morning my old bottle of Hayner.
Okay.
I found it on Marketplace for like $10.
Yeah.
It's from 1897. It looks just like the ones you have down there.
Yeah. So there's so many of them out there.
Yes.
Really don't. If you find with fluid in it, they're up to 1,000.
Yeah.
But the bottle themselves are pretty inexpensive.
Right.
Back in the 90s, there was a whole collection. People really started collecting them back in the 90s. They would go $100 a bottle.
Damn.
And then now that's sort of fallen off.
Right.
It's like Longaberger baskets, if you guys.
Yeah.
Remember Longaberger baskets?
Yeah.
My mom had.
My wife.
Those were, $100 a basket. Now you can't get them for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So same thing with the Hayner bottles.
Right.
Yeah, now we've got a giant building in Ohio that looks like one.
Basket, yeah.
You can't don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, well there's no.
So you've been here. You guys been here?
I have not been here.
Go ahead.
I'll give you the elevator speech, as I call it, real quick. History of Hayner. So Hayner started in 1866. For history buffs, 1865, Civil War ends and Lincoln is assassinated. That's how old it is. The guy named Lewis Hayner comes to Troy in 1866, settles on the Miami River. Here's a map. This is actually from 1911, so this is their heyday. But regardless, they started in 1866 right here along the river. This is not too far from here, downtown Troy. So this is their main distillery. They had 3 large barrel houses. They grew into the second largest distillery in Ohio, but they were the largest mail order whiskey company in the whole country. They made their millions of mail order whiskey for $3.20 and shipping 4 quarts of whiskey. So that's about $20 a bottle.
Yeah.
So they made millions doing that. And what they did was they had warehouses all over the country. So for a while, everything was aged, distilled in Troy, aged in Troy, bottled in Troy, and they were shipping everything out of Troy. Well, let's say they had a lot of orders down in Boston. So shipping from Troy to Boston was expensive because they paid for the shipping. That included the shipping. So they would build or buy a warehouse in Boston. They would ship by train car pallets of bottles to Boston, then fill all the Boston orders from that location.
Okay.
So they ended up having 9 different warehouses across the country where they filled all the mail orders. Because they took out ads in every paper in the country. They filled all the mail orders from across the country. So, here's Boston, St. Paul, Jacksonville, New Orleans, St. Louis, Kansas City.
Couldn't pay me enough to move back to Jacksonville.
So and I like to compare them to, so they did back in, this is early 1900s, to what Amazon does now. Why does Amazon have warehouses all across the country? Because it's cheaper to get to you from Cincinnati versus California. That's why they did it. It was cheaper to mail to the customer. So they were phenomenal at marketing. So once you ordered from them, so they had your name, your address, obviously. So if you didn't order again from them in 6 months, they'd send you a letter. Say, hey, it's been 6 months. Can we ship you? And they would ship bottles for free. And basically say, if you like it, send us back 3
Right.
You got a lot of faith, you know,
and feel
a lot of
obligated to
trust.
send the money back. So they started in 1866. They do this till 1920. 1920 comes Prohibition. Prohibition lasts 13 years. They closed down 1920 on everybody, never to reopen. The Prohibition ended in 1933. By that time, the owner had switched hands a couple times. He was still alive, still lived in Troy here, but didn't restart the company. We don't know why. So we went to in downtown Troy when the Hayners were distilling. They built this one, the Hayner Mansion. That's shown here in this model. It's part of our house blend series. So the Hayner Mansion is right downtown Troy, next to our courthouse, and that's where they live and they distill. And so there's a museum in there dedicated to Hayner whiskey. While you're up here, you gotta go visit. It's really cool. Little museum. They'll give you a lot more information than I'm giving you right now. But they had a couple unopened bottles. So we're my business partner and I, Andrew, were going to the museum. We've been on the Bourbon Trail. We went to the museum. We thought, why has nobody ever relaunched this brand? It's got this great story. I'm just sharing a little bit of it with you. And they had great whiskey, and so we'll do it. So we relaunched that whiskey brand. So that's basically what we did. So they had an unopened bottle. We took a sample unopened bottle. We took it down to Bardstown Bourbon Company. Bardstown helped us come out with our bourbon blend. So our bourbon is a blend from Bardstown. This source product. All of our products are now sourced. Bardstown made our barrels for us. They made 300 barrels, and those are aging. While those are aging, you're sourcing, right? You're in the so much business, you know how that works. You got something to sell. You got a lot of money sitting in a bar in Kentucky making no money, just getting interest on the notes. Right. You have these barrels sit there for 6 years. Right. You got gas and revenue. So we source our bourbon is sourced from Bardstown, and our rye products are sourced from MGP. Again, while that ages down at Bardstown. So this is a bourbon blended to taste like the original. So we took a sample through an unopened bottle from 1904. Took a sample through the cork, the needle through the cork. Took it down to Bardstown, tasted it, and working with them, we came out with this bourbon blend to match the profile of the original as close as possible. Okay. Unfortunately, they made really good bourbon back then. Otherwise, if you do wants to relaunch a whiskey, whiskey. Right. Our second brand, the second brand. So they made good stuff. And so that's our bourbon blend. So we started this 2 years ago. That's all we had. That's all we launched with. And since for the next 2 years, we've had a lot of rye products, had a lot of clear spirits, etc. Got a couple different things going on here. So this is our vintage series. So these replicate labels from the 1800s. This is from 1910. This label we bought here in 1910, which looks just like that. This is 1890, a jug from 1890. We had the actual pottery placed in this thing. They replicated the jug from 1890. That's how it was sold. Really, blown glass didn't come around until the early 1900s. So before 1900, you buy your whiskey in a jug, like 4-liter jugs here. You go to the bar, you pull it up right out of the barrel. And that's how you did it in 1910.
Can we go back to those days, please?
Yeah. And then we've got our barrel product. We got some finished products, and we're launching bourbon too. We got a rye and bourbon finishing maple honey barrel, and clear spirits. Just got flavored lemonade, strawberry lemonade, vodka, and gin. So that's kind of the short and long. You come in here, it's not that large or much glamour, so we do a lot out of here. So you know better than me, Ohio's a control state. So when we bottle it into the box, boxes get sealed, they get shipped to the state of Ohio. Ohio distributes liquor stores. We're in 50 of the 500 state liquor stores, and all those 50 are, of course, regionally local. So we don't distill here again. We contract with Bardstown to distill, so we just bring up the barrels. Barrel ends up going to tote. The tote ends up getting proofed. Simple 4-station bottler, hand label, hand cork. My family's here, my wife, daughter, my business partner's here. His kids come in, my kids come in, and we set this up in the stations, and we do about 200 bottles an hour. Yesterday, we didn't label. Yesterday, my wife Deb and I did 280. Yes, we did these 2 batches. That box, this pile of boxes yesterday. This is our clear spirit. So vodka comes in a tote, comes in a barrel, 192 proof. So when you're drinking vodka, you're drinking more water than anything. So we spend extra time. We get our water out of Champagne Springs near Urbana. We set it to reverse osmosis and filter it, and then add it to, proof it down, proof that 192 down to 35. So, okay.
Now, do these fill up from the bottom come up, or do these pop up?
So what happens is it gets pumped by an air pump, pumps into this tank, then it's just gravity. So when the bottle goes in here, it just flows into the bottom.
Okay.
Just gravity flow. So it's
Tony's a plumber. He's interested in that kind of stuff. So.
I'm a plumber, so like how it all works.
And so it stops none of them out. Everything runs through a 1 micron filter. So we don't filter out of it. So we go from the barrel to this. We'll just pump it unfiltered, and we send it through 1 micron, which is common, or even smaller before it gets bottled. Okay.
Now I've seen that you guys have the cameras for the barrels. How well has that been doing for you guys?
It's doing good. So we've sold about 50 out of each barrel. There's 100 in each to sell. And you know what that project is, or you know what? Have you seen it?
So I've just kind of briefly looked at it while I'm at work. Where I work, we don't have a lot of access to do a lot of things on our company computers. Right. They don't allow us the access. Yeah. So I'm like, I keep looking at it, and I'm like, well, that's a cool idea. You can actually see the whiskey.
Yeah. So the idea behind it, and I'll bring up my so the idea behind it is it's somewhat gimmicky marketing, but that's a lot of this is marketing, right?
Right.
That's all. It's all everything.
You gotta have the fluid.
Right.
Beyond the fluid to get people to buy the first bottle. It's marketing.
Yeah.
And I think we've got a great story. And so the idea behind this was the marketing idea behind this is I always say whiskey's an experience because I equate whiskey to art, and that being you look at a picture, one person might pay $1 million for that piece of art, the next person says that's the ugliest thing ever. Why would you pay $1 million?
Yeah.
It's very personal to him. He likes it, and he's going to pay $1 million for it. Same thing with whiskey. What you think is the best whiskey in the world, I might not like. Our palates are different. It's very personal. And what I love, you might think that's awful because so it's an experience. And so this takes the whiskey experience, makes it a journey. So you actually what happens when you step back? So what happens is when you sign on to it, you get a sample from that bottle that's brand new. These are 3-month-old samples. So you get a sample from that barrel mailed to you. So it's only 3 months old. So it's not gonna taste that great, but that's part of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the journey. And then every year on its birthday, it's already had one birthday. Its birthday's in May. You get a sample of 1-year-old, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you get to taste it while it ages.
There you go.
And then anytime after year 4, you can elect to have your bottle. You can do it yourself. We'll do it. Come in here, pull the handle, fill up your bottle. We'll proof it if you want to proof it, or just take it barrel proof. So anytime after year 4, we're gonna make people wait till year 4. You can have your bottle of whiskey, and then the fun side to it is you get this code. When you subscribe to it, you can scan this. You can go online and actually watch your whiskey age. I'll show you what it looks like on my computer here.
That's something that we should
Yeah.
do for.
I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, we should do one for the podcast. Because I've looked at it while I was at work, and I was like, man, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. I like that idea. I really did. Because then we can decide, ooh, we really like.
Yeah.
We like
year
it.
5.
We like it exactly. We liked it in year 5. We liked it.
Right.
Year 4 was really good. Do you want to wait another year, or do we want to do it now?
Yeah.
Is it 120 and then 60? No. There's a bottle, I think, on the bottom shelf over there. Down low. Was it? Yeah. That's what I thought.
160?
Here's the website.
I'll curl your hair. Mm-hmm.
Not a very good demo for this.
Technical difficulties.
Well, what happens, so it's streaming live on YouTube.
Right.
And usually once a week, YouTube will lose this connection, and I think they do it on purpose. It's free.
That wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll dump the connection.
No, they're in the independent living. Now we're moving to the assisted living because
There he is.
So that is so about 20 seconds later. So I've got an air thing set up, but it's just off. So what happens is, in a second you'll a live video feed from inside that barrel. So when you go to the website, the lights turn on, everything turns on, so it's not getting hit with lights all the time. Plus their LED lights and get UV filters on these.
Oh, there
you go.
So usually it doesn't shake that much, but I just did that for demonstration. And so you hear this air cannon go off here a little bit. There's air bladders underneath it. Where it rocks it a little bit, it gives it some motion. So it's a live video feed. You got 1,010 days, 7 hours, 39 minutes, 30 seconds. So it's 4 years old. And at 4 years old, you can have a barrel. So, are you going to look at this that often? No, but it's kind of fun. You bring it on your phone, and it's kind of a cool little bar trick. Here's my bourbon. I don't get it for another 3 years, but that's my bourbon sitting there.
Yeah, I always thought that was a really cool idea, and I wasn't sure what all was involved behind it. So I'm like,
so we did it took a while to develop it and come up with ways that so you can see it, so it works, and we had to lower the bourbon level in it because the camera's here. So if the bourbon level is above the camera port, you couldn't see anything. So I thought when we first did it, I thought we would do that and that we could just make the bourbon like this amber glow. You're looking through it, but you can't. It's so dark. The light won't pass through it. That's why we started off putting the port in the middle to discover that. We put a really bright light here, but it wouldn't illuminate the liquid.
Right.
We wanted this nice amber glow. We just wouldn't do it. We couldn't get enough light to do it, so we abandoned that idea. Put lights on.
What level of char do you have on the barrel?
These are made for bar sound, so these are 2 to 308. This is a little 4 char, a toasted little 4 char. And so this barrel has this mash bill.
Okay. Yep, go for it.
Hello, welcome to Hayner. How can I help you today? Okay. Media launch and just a big press release. Bourbon Soup talked about it. We got some sales off that. Bourbon Soup talked about it in that podcast. They sort of took the gimmick. It wasn't really gimmicky. Yeah, it is, but
It's for the
purpose.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
So it has, and our ultimate goal is, so these have been here for a year now. We're going to move them because obviously, it needs to be where it gets hot, cold. That's how it is, right? So we're going to move them to that environment here soon. But they have spent the first year sort of in this environment. But I also think, granted, the movement of the barrels is going to affect the taste of it, hopefully for the better. Because obviously, the more the distillate interacts with the wood, that's how it picks up its flavor. And so I really think it's going to change the flavor of it. I'm interested to taste this barrel versus the barrel that's been sitting down at bar stand for 5 years.
Right.
And the one that's moved a little bit for 5 years, and one that's sat still for 5 years.
Yeah.
You also have to think of the humidity, just general temperature, because up here we're going to have wilder swings than you are going to have down there.
Right.
I mean, it's not by a huge amount, but still, the slight difference between the two.
So that's Whiskey Webcam, whiskey.webcam.com. So when someone goes on, hello, they get to switch between these 2 barrels, pick which barrel they want to watch for 4, 5, 6 years.
Looks like 4 grains is going to be delicious.
Yeah.
And just talks about it. So, we started. Here I draw up the holes in this barrel. Started different aspects, trying to figure out how to do this. But yes, live webcam. Once you subscribe, then you get the passwords to get onto this page. So you have to have bought the $79 and $70 at the end. So $79 now. That gets you access to it. It'll get you the sample, T-shirt, the card, the first sample, then every sample a year for 5 years, 6 years, every sample year for 6 years, mailed to you. We're looking at doing it. I know that's a lot, but every time we mail out a sample, it's about $10.
Yeah.
So I got $60 just in mailing you samples for 6 years.
And then you figure $10, $15 on a T-shirt, and then
and then you get a whole bottle at the end. So this is cost, people say $149. Well,
it's
not making a whole lot here. I got $60 mailing you. I've got a bottle of whiskey at the end,
Right.
With the shirt, the card. So
with what you're getting right out of the gate, it's that cost is sitting and going, okay, I broke even.
Right.
And then the bottle on the end, it's worth it at that point.
Well, I mean, and then, you know, it's also a little bit of CYA if they don't purchase the bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you
Yeah,
know.
they're under no obligation. State of Ohio, no op. So how it actually works is that so the first 79 covers the sample, the 7 covers the actual bottle. You can't combine the two. You can't sell 149 bottles. You get this, you get the bottle, plus you get all the mailings under one cost. The state, they're all the state rules are very difficult. So that's that, and this is our 7. Did you do this?
Yes.
So you can bottle your own, handle, fill your own bottle, sign the barrel, and then we're going to wrap the barrel off and use somebody when it's done. There's probably 40, 50 bottles left in there. Hard to say, but it's probably started at 100. It's a 7.5 year barrel. So it's 7.5 years old, but that barrel's only 2.5, so it's been double barrel. So it's been 5 years in one barrel, then 2.5 in that barrel.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's one I have at my house.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay. I enjoy truly rich.
I really like that.
And so we think there's probably started around 150 bottles in there. Sold maybe 60, 70, so it's about half done. So that's and these are our example of the honey. The honey barrel, the maple barrel. So we got it set up with these wheels. So this is the maple bourbon, and so every day I'll lock it just to mix it up because this has maple syrup in it, and to get the bourbon to interact with all the wood and all the maple syrup sitting in there.
Right.
That will spin it. We did the same thing with the honey. The honey to the bottle. The honey, that's honey bourbon right there. But that maple bourbon is, I think we launched October 7th.
Day after the birthday.
Yeah.
I'm like, honey, I know what I want for
Right.
That's awesome. I do that a lot. I go, I want this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys do like to ride, and I'm getting into ride.
I tell people all the time when we started this, you get into the bourbon, the bourbon trail, the history, but I think you matured into the rise.
Yes.
You'll mature like the rest.
Oh yeah. Well, I said the same thing about my beer choices from younger to now. So
that honey rye, you know I don't want to call it pollen, but that flower note that you usually get when you try a really good little bit of honey. That's what you get right on the front with that rye.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's interesting you say pollen because well, that's what honey is. It's pollen and bee spit, right? That's all it is.
That's what it is.
Well, you have pollen and bee spit in your whiskey now.
I'm making meat, so
I wonder if the propolis is a little bit higher in that honey that's being used too.
The what?
So honey's got propolis,
Okay.
so you can actually use it to conceal cuts and everything, cure heal wounds a little bit faster. It's a natural, and they'll pull the propolis out of honey, and you'll get pure propolis, but it's naturally in the honey, and you can actually get it at higher levels.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Johnny Bell. Hey, baby girl. What'd you get? Straight rye?
Straight rye, and then
Ooh. The old style.
the old
1910. So we're done with Hayner. We just met Greg, the owner of Hayner.
awesome guy.
Very, very fun.
Yeah.
Tony's very excited about an upcoming bottle that they're going to be releasing.
Yes.
Was it the honey rye or the honey barrel?
The honey rye bourbon.
Honey bourbon.
Well, yeah.
So
The rye's ready right now,
Yeah,
but the
the rye's
bourbon
ready.
is not yet.
I'm
and
looking forward to that honey bourbon.
chomping at the bit.
I
for
tried it,
bourbon.
and it's delicious.
Yeah.
That honey rye is delicious.
So I picked up a bottle of maple rye. Ted's got a couple little fancy small airplane bottles, and we both got T-shirts. So yeah, we're all excited.
So,
This is Hayner.
Hayner.
Here in Troy, and then we're on to the next, guys.
On to the next.
Did you